Hey, it's Robert here from robertcbrown.online. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are today. Now, today's video is all about the 4 key things to make decisions faster. Now, I'm going to break from normal routine here where I tend to talk about this stuff myself because I came across a wonderful video, quite short, from Gary Vee, Gary Vaynerchuk, online, where he talks about the 4 key things he does when he needs to come to a decision. Now, what I love about this is that it really is a cure. The way he approaches it is a cure for overthinking. And overthinking is a trap that so many of us fall into. Procrastination, all that sort of stuff. So you end up doing a lot of thinking and not a lot of doing. Sometimes when you don't know what to do, you just need to pick an option and go with it. And that's what he talks so beautifully about here. So I'm going to let him do the talking. I'm going to share the video with you here, and I'll have a few words with you at the end. Enjoy the video.
Decide what to do when you feel you're good at a lot of stuff.
You pick one.
So you don't waste your time.
You pick one.
How do you know which is the right one?
You don't.
How do you deal with the unknown? Like when it
By
comes
recognizing I have no choice. I think it comes down to perfection and like trying to make the right perfect call. And I think that the right perfect call 9 out of 10 times is the fastest call. So I tend not to overthink at all. I'm very intuitive, and most of my business mistakes have been to act too quickly and then have to bail out. I've found that speed trumps everything. Too many people are quick.
We just stop it there. Speed trumps everything, and he tends not to overthink. And he's also very intuitive. That's something that I want to pick up on here. Something I learned many years ago is that you need to learn to trust your gut instinct, because your gut has not evolved to a place where it confuses everything with logic. Most of us try to fix all of the problems that we create in this physical world of ours on a physical, conscious, logical thinking level. Well, that's where we created the problem. Our intuition, however, comes from a different place. So it's really key for you to learn to trust your intuition. I'll carry on with the video.
By the right hire, by the right meeting. I say work harder, work more efficient, make more 15 and 30-minute meetings that leave you more time to do more things, and create more opportunities, and don't be crippled by choosing the right opportunities or not.
Just before we get into key 2, again, another key factor is time management, which he touched on there, is actually making sure that your agenda is foremost when it comes to planning each day so that you get the most. It's your life at the end of the day. Don't respond all the time to other people's wants, needs, and desires. Why? Because yours are first. Yours are the most important. It's your life. When it all boils down to it, it's about you, right? So you need to make decisions that revolve around what you want for you each and every day. Otherwise, what's the point? Let's move on. Key number 2.
I believe one of the most fascinating excuses in life is that I'm so good at so many things that I don't know which one to pick. So many of you are not taking action because you overthink it. You overthink it. You overthink it. I think the thing that bothers me is that people are crippled by their options and then actually aren't doing anything in parallel. They're lollygagging while they decide. If you're so good at so many things, you'll pick one, you'll be good at that, and you can do a bunch of things. I'm doing a bunch of things. You need to be doing. Right? You need to be executing. So if there's 3 to 4 tangible things going on in your mind, you need to make sure your internships, your free time, whatever you can do to let you taste them and get context around them is what really matters. I always say deploy your resources that you can afford to lose. A lot of you don't have the dollars. I used to not have the dollars, but I had my time. Taking action is, especially if it doesn't cost you money and it's just time, is always a better answer than pondering or thinking or trying to decide if this is going to work. You don't know. And one of the smartest things I do as an entrepreneur and a business person is I do things so I can understand whether they work or not.
That is absolutely key. And before he moves on to key number 3, I want to talk about that because I've been kind of subject to that type of thing in the past myself. I'm lucky in one way, cursed in another, because I'm quite good at an awful lot of things. And that plays out in the number of businesses I've had over the years. And I've run multiple businesses at the same time, which isn't as much fun as it sounds. It's really, really critical that if you're somebody that is, has multifaceted sides to them, they've got multiple talents, and you can't figure out which way to go in, just pick one, take some action. You see, because the thing is, there is no right answer. And when you're making a decision ahead of time, you're doing it with no data, nothing to draw upon. So it's not an informed decision. It's really nothing more than a guess. And I'm going to make a guess now. If you're not drawing off the resource I mentioned earlier, which is your intuition, then it's a logical guess. That won't get you anywhere, because you might get halfway up the ladder of success and figure out you're leaning against the wrong wall. And that happens to so many people. I've done it myself so many times. So it's key to trust your gut instinct. But here's the thing, taking action. He just mentioned it. If you're faced with half a dozen different choices you can make, pick one randomly, write them down on a sheet of paper, tear up the bits of paper, throw it in a hat, pick one out and go with it, if that's what it comes down to. Because the key factor is you need to take action. Now, the law of attraction, the word attraction is 60% made up from the word action. That is no accident. So without action, take action out of the word attraction, you have zilch, right? Attraction doesn't work without some action. So you need to make a decision and get yourself out of that phase of trying to figure it out with no data. Then by moving forward and taking action, you will get some data. You will get some feedback from the people, from the marketplace, and you will very soon get the answers to the questions you're looking for. Whether this is for you, whether it's not, whether you should move left, move right, move forward, move back, whatever it is you're looking for the answers to, they'll show up just by taking action. Let's carry on. Ooh, get a bit hot under the collar.
There was never a day in my life where I didn't have something that I called the 80% of what I do. What I think you need to figure out is you've got to create at least one burger. I've got 4, right? You need to have 1. You can go and have side dishes, and if your steak is perfect, you'll always be able to absorb the losses, right? Because they're smaller losses. I think a lot of people just eat the potato or the pickle or the onion or I have the burger, Wine Library, VaynerMedia, my personal brand, investing. Those are my burgers, because what the burger does is allows you to create the wealth creation or the financial stability that allows you to go flirt. And then when something over here becomes bigger, you can turn that into the main part, and that could become the steak. Too many people have all side dishes and no steak.
And I want to add to that point as well, that too many people as well start developing side dishes when they haven't actually really got the steak down to a fine art. And what I'm basically saying is focus on that one thing that makes you special and become more, so good at it, so much better at it. Develop it to a point where you are the very best choice for anybody looking for a steak, right? If they want the best steak in town, they're going to come to you. Whatever the steak is for you, whatever your business is, whatever it is you're offering, if somebody, your customer, your desired customer, your ideal customer is looking for what you do, you become the logical choice. When you go deep in a vertical and you really hone your niche so that you can anticipate what your marketplace wants before even they realize they need it or want it, then you're in a very powerful place. Then and only then should you start developing your side dishes or your spin-offs. Don't do it before, because it dissipates your focus. It will spread you too thin and you won't have the impact. Remember, you don't win by going wide, okay? You win by drilling deep. You go wide later. Don't get it the wrong way round. It will, honestly, it will stifle your growth. It will absolutely steal your future from you. So focus, drill deep, and be absolutely the number one in your market at what you do. And then Once you've won your market and you're at the top of the heap and you're dominating, then look to develop some side dishes, okay? Not before.
Ever get anything wrong? What do you do when you make a mistake?
I get everything wrong. It's just that I can't recall it because once it's wrong, I'm moving on to the next thing. I passed on Uber twice. When they were raising money at a $4 million valuation, I passed. Even though Travis is one of my boys and I think is one of the best entrepreneurs in the world. Had I wrote a $25,000 check into that company like I did to the other companies, it'd be worth $300 million.
Jesus
Now
Christ.
you have to understand, this is my homie. He's acknowledged in my book. That's what you have to do when you're playing the game. That's what you have to understand when you're an entrepreneur. Those misses are going to come in my career. I look at losing as a positive, mainly because everybody here doesn't like losing because they're worried what other people think about their loss. I don't care what you think about my losses. My L is my L. You're more than welcome to leave a comment and clown on me when I fail on something, when something doesn't work out. I have good news for you. I don't give a what you have to say. I swear on my kids' health, I'm obsessed with losing. I love losing. I love losing because I know exactly what you're thinking about my loss, and I can't wait to stick it in your face when I come back. Be more efficient with what you do to allow you to do more things. Then you don't have to worry about the subjective and non-controllable, like knowing what's good or great. That's the recap.
Okay, so on the final point as well, I really, really want to hit on this one big time. The only opinion of you that you can ultimately control is the one you have of yourself. So stop buggering about, worrying all the time about what other people think of you. And you need to reframe your losses, your failures, like Edison did. Just think of it as one step closer to the way that's going to work for you. And also big yourself up as well. Because if you're falling down and taking the skin off your knees, it meant at some point you had the courage to try. So many folks don't even have that. You had the courage to try. And with every failure comes an experience and a lesson that makes you stronger and pushes you closer to being, doing, and having more in life. So don't use your failures. From this point on, don't use them to beat yourself up. Use them as a pat on the back and as an inner assurance that you've just moved a step closer to what it is that you want to show up in your life. That's what winners do. That's what high achievers do. That's what I want you to do for yourself from now on. It will change your life. Okay, look, I hope you've really enjoyed this video. It's totally different the way I've done it this time. Let me know if you like it, because if you like this type of thing, I'm going to do more of it. I've certainly enjoyed it because it's a break from routine for me. But listen, anyway, I'm going to wrap it up now. Just take action. Remember, I banged on a lot about action. At the end of the day, everything in this physical world, everything that shows up for you in your reality will come down on some level to whether or not you put some action out, okay, in the right direction, in the direction of what it is you want. If you do, ultimately, nothing will stop you. If you don't, you'll get back what you put in. That's the way it works. Okay, as I say, hope you've enjoyed the video. I've really enjoyed making it for you. If you want to dig even deeper on all things personal development and spiritual alignment, get across to, and of course business development, get across to robertcbrown.online, robertcbrown.online. Join my community over there. We're all committed to personal development, spiritual growth, and there are an awful lot of entrepreneurs in my community all looking to develop their businesses to using a lot of the concepts that I share over there. If that's you in any way, shape or form, I'd love to welcome you over there too. With that said, have a great rest of your day. Keep checking out my channel, subscribe, click the bell so you get notified when I bring out another video, and I hope to see you very soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.